Hey friends, so this video here is if you missed the beginning of the lesson, you can hear the read aloud. I'm going to continue reading The Year of the Dog. When we talk about our mini lesson of getting to know your character as a friend, I'm going to reference some pages from the read aloud. So you need to know what's going on with the story to understand the mini lesson. So let's pick up where we left off. Remember in our story that we met our new friend. Her name is Melody. Melody is eating with Becky Williams and Lissy, and Melody covered for Grace, not Lissy, when Becky was talking about the day of the unicorn on the leap year. And it seems like our character Melody, she's really clever. She's kind of picked up on the fact that Grace made a little white lie to make Becky feel good about herself. And it seems like that Grace is really excited to become good friends with Melody. So this chapter is Almost Twins. So let's pick up right here. Here's some vitamins. There's something's going to be brought up about vitamins. When I came home from school, I couldn't wait to tell Mom about Melody. But of course, she already knew about it. Mom told me how she had gone grocery shopping and was surprised to see another Asian woman doing the same thing. The woman was so happy to see another Asian person that she went up to Mom and introduced herself. Melody's parents were from Taiwan too, so we were both Taiwanese American. Mom said she would take me over to see Melody's new house. It was going to be fun going to Melody's new house. She had the best room. The whole wall of her room was a picture of jungle animals. There was a lion staring in the grass and monkeys climbing the trees. There was even a pink flamingo. How did you get a wall like that? I asked, impressed. It came that way, Melody said. If you look close, you can see that it's kind of a wallpaper, not painted. I looked really close, and I could see a tiny line down the side. It was like a huge ceiling-to-floor poster. We tried to draw all the animals in Melody's notebook. I couldn't copy the lion very well, but Melody thought my elephant drawing was exactly like the one on the wall. Melody's brothers, Benji and Felix, came in and drew too. We drew Melody riding the giraffe and Felix swinging from a vine. Benji and Felix weren't too bad for boys. After Benji drew himself feeding bananas to the monkeys, he said, "I'm hungry. Let's go get some real bananas." That's when we realized we were all hungry, so we went downstairs to eat. In my house, Mom always had cookies or chocolate or cheese or crackers in the cupboards. If we didn't have those, there was always fruit in the can that I could eat too. But Melody didn't have any of those things. Mom told me Melody's mother was very nutritious. So in her cupboard, there were only plain rice cakes that tasted like paper. There were nuts that were still in the shelves and didn't have any salt on them. But there weren't any bananas. Don't you have any candy? I asked. No, Melody said, but we have vitamins. They're kind of sweet. So we opened a big jar of vitamins. There was a big letter C on them. They were thin and flat and tasted like oranges. They were pretty good. Not as good as candy, but still yummy. We all sat on the floor eating vitamins. Melody's mother came into the room and was surprised to see us around the vitamin jar. She seemed a little upset with us. I didn't know why. I thought she would be happy that we were being so healthy. "What are you doing?" she said. "You shouldn't be eating vitamins like that." "We were hungry," Melody said. "Well, it's almost dinner time," she said. "I'll make you something better to eat. Pacey, why don't you call your mother to see if you can stay over here for dinner?" I called Mom and we went back to Melody's room. "My mom called you Pacey," Melody said. "Your mom and your sisters called you that too, but everyone at school calls you Grace. How come?" "Oh, I have two names," I told her, "an American name and a Chinese name." "Why don't they just call you one of them?" Melody asked. "Don't you get mixed up?" "Well," I said, "it was like this. How my name got changed from Pacey to Grace. On my first day of school, the teacher asked me, 'What is your name?' Right away I said, 'Pacey Lynn.' But she looked at her roster and shook her head. She said, 'No. You're a big girl now. You don't go by that name anymore. It says your name is Grace." I didn't understand, but I just nodded my head. I knew I shouldn't tell the teacher she was wrong, but I kept thinking she had made a mistake. Maybe the teacher had mixed me up with another girl and I was supposed to be somewhere else. Maybe she was me and I was her. How could I find her? On the bus ride home, I asked Lissy about it. "Oh, those are our American names," Lissy told me. "They call me Beatrice. Mom and Dad gave us American and Chinese names. I think the people at the hospital told them too when we were born." "Well, I want to be called Pacey," I grumbled. "Don't be stupid," Lissy said. "Pacey is too weird for everyone. They won't know how to say it." If I used Lissy, they'd ask, "Is that Li-Shi or Li-Si?" And then they'd ask, "Why do Chinese people always have to have these weird names? Just let them call you Grace." I still wasn't convinced. People won't know which one is really me, though. "Look," Lissy said, "it's like egg foo young. At home we call it foo young dong, but at the restaurants they call it egg foo young. So it's easier for Americans to say. But it's still the same egg pancake. You know what you're eating. When Mom gives it to you, don't you? And you know what to order at the restaurant. It's not that hard." Here's egg foo young. So now I've finished. Everyone at school calls me by my American name, and everyone at home calls me by my Chinese name. "Well," Melody said, "I guess it's kind of cool. It's like a nickname. But do you want me to call you Pacey or Grace?" I thought a moment. "I call myself both names," I said, "and we're almost twins, so you can call me both too." Chapter 8. Dinner at Melody's. Felix came into the room and told us dinner was ready. I was glad because my stomach was grumbling. "What's for dinner?" I asked. "Chinese food, of course," Felix said. "The same as your house, probably." When we got downstairs, I wasn't surprised to see Melody's mother opening her rice cooker. We had rice every day at our house, too, but Melody's mother was scooping out big spoonfuls of brown rice. We never had brown rice at my house, only the white rice. Just like me, I like the white rice and not the brown rice. And then on the table, the vegetables weren't stir-fried, and the tofu didn't have any shiny sauce on it. Everything was plain and colorless and dry. "Are you sure this is Chinese food?" I asked Melody. Melody's mother heard me. "This is Chinese food, cooked a healthy way," she told me. "It's very good for you. Try it. You'll like it." I tried it, but I didn't like it. To me, the rice was too crunchy and chewy, and the vegetables and tofu were tasteless. Yuck! I looked at Melody, Benji, and Felix. How could they eat this? But they didn't seem to think it was that bad. They put everything in their mouths and swallowed it. I just kept pushing the rice from one side of my plate to the other. "Aren't you hungry?" Melody asked me. "I thought I was," I said to her, "but I guess not." Melody's mother looked at me worried. "I hope eating all those vitamins didn't make you sick." Could a person get sick from eating too many healthy things? Maybe I was already so full of nutritious things from the vitamins that my body couldn't take it anymore. Maybe that was why the dinner tasted so bad to me. We had dried apricots for dessert. They looked like shriveled orange mushrooms. I only had one. By that time, I was convinced it was because my body couldn't fit any more nutrition. But Melody's mother worried that it was something else. She called my mom and talked to her for a long time in Taiwanese. Mom came over and picked me up right away. She put her hand on my head and said that I felt okay, but she'd bring me home just in case. In the car, she said, "It's too bad you got sick. It sounded like you were having a good time." "It was fun," I said. "But can Melody come over to our house for dinner next time?" Chapter 9. Red Eggs. Melody and I became best friends. Like two chopsticks, we were always together. She came over to my house, and I went over to hers. One day she came over to help color eggs. They were for my cousin Albert's red egg party. He was just born, so we were going to visit him in New Jersey. When you go to a red egg party, you have to bring red eggs. Red eggs symbolize good luck for a new baby. I guess the more red eggs Albert got, the more luck he'd have. I get sick of eating all those eggs, though. How to color a red egg. Dip a red envelope in warm water. Rub the moist envelope onto the egg. The red from the envelope will color the egg red. Coloring eggs was fun. Lissy, Kiki, Melody, and I dipped lucky red envelopes in warm water and then rubbed the red coloring into the eggs. Lissy got red dye on her nose and I laughed at her. Is there such thing as a red egg colorer? I asked. That would be a fun job. No, Melody said. There aren't enough red egg parties for you to do that for real. Americans don't have red egg parties. But Chinese people do, I said. Every time a Chinese baby is born, there's a red egg party. Maybe that would be enough. Not all Chinese babies get red egg parties, Lissy said. You did it. I did it? Why not? I asked. Probably because you didn't deserve it, Lissy said. You were the worst baby. You cried all the time and then you got so sick. They took you to the hospital and Mom and Dad were so worried. They had to put a tube on your ankle and put you in a plastic box. Lissy went to go wash her hands and get some paper to wrap the eggs in. Gee, what did you have? Melody asked. Looks like we're learning something new about our character Grace. I know, Kiki piped up. You got sick from ammonia, Mom told me. Ammonia? I said. Isn't it the stuff in window cleaner? Melody and I looked at each other. You must have been allergic to it, Melody said. But we have a window cleaner now, I said. I saw it in the closet. We went to the closet and looked up the bottles. The bottles were on the shelf, lined up in a row. The window cleaner was in the middle and looked like a bottle of swimming pool water. There it is, I said. You better not touch it, Melody said. You might get sick. It must be a mistake that we have it, I said. Maybe Mother forgot I was allergic to it. I'll throw it away for you, Melody said, reaching for it. What are you guys doing now? Lissy asked us. We're getting rid of the ammonia so Pacey won't get sick again, Melody explained. Lissy started to laugh. She snatched the window cleaner from Melody and looked at me menacingly. Are you afraid of ammonia? She cackled, aiming the spray bottle at me. Stop! Melody screamed. Kiki screamed too, and I started to run. Melody tried to grab the window cleaner away from Lissy, and I hid behind the sofa. What's going on here? I heard Mom say. I crept out from behind the sofa. Lissy was going to spray me with window cleaner, I said. Melody nodded in support. Lissy, put the window cleaner away, and you, Mom said to me, why are you so scared of window cleaner all of a sudden? Because it has ammonia, I said, and I told her the whole story. Mom laughed and shook her head. Then she explained to us that when I was a baby, I had pneumonia, which is a very bad cold. It was different from ammonia. But if you were allergic, Mom said, it was a very nice of Melody to try to keep you from getting sick. I guess you almost saved my life, I told her. Melody grinned, but whenever anyone mentioned window cleaner after that, we both turned red from embarrassment.